So in my last video, which was months ago, I talked about this feeling of uncertainty that I was wrestling with, and I got a lot of feedback on that video, both online and offline, with people telling me how relatable that feeling was for them. Maybe you relate too. Well, a lot has happened since then, and I thought I'd share a little bit of that journey with you starting now. Welcome back to Practically Biblical. My name's Brian, and I have missed you. You see, I took a bit of a break from YouTube, which, if I'm being honest, wasn't really planned. The last video I did was about what to do when you're feeling uncertain, and then I just disappeared. The truth is, the uncertainty I was feeling was affecting me more than I thought it was. I had a lot going on, and yet none of it felt like it was meaningful. That's not to say it wasn't, but to me, I was feeling like I was just going through the motions in so many ways. So putting out what I did for the world to see, okay, maybe just for a few of you to see, but you get my point, meant that I had to deal with it. And until I did, I wasn't ready to put out any more content. Weeks passed. My stress level and my frustration continued to grow, and I pursued some new projects, and I started exploring some new interests with a little bit more intentionality. And in the middle of all that, I had the opportunity to preach on Proverbs 3, 5, and 6. If you're not familiar with those verses, here's what they say. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him and he will make your paths straight. It was a verse I needed to hear, soak in, and live out. And I recognized I had a trust issue. Here's what I mean.
I can say to you, I trust this chair. I trust that the way this chair is built, these screws that are in here, the material it's made out of will hold my weight when I sit down on it. But that trust isn't fully realized until I actually commit to putting my weight in this chair. But here's what we normally do. We can say we trust God. We can say, yeah, I'm in. I trust you, Lord, with all my heart. But when it comes to trusting God with our families, with our finances, with our relationships, whatever it may be in your life, we all have things that are hard to let go of and to trust God with. It looks more like this, right? It looks a little ridiculous even looking at it, right? God, I trust you. I trust that you can hold me. I trust that whatever I give you, whatever I submit to you is good. But you know what this is? This isn't trusting. This is testing. Can I trust you, God? I'm going to give you a little bit of it. But can I trust you? But here's what's going to happen. Even now, I'm sitting here and my leg is like, when are you going to give me a break? Right? When we trust a little bit on God, we lean the rest of the way on our own understanding. And if I had enough time, and I won't do this, two things will happen. I'll get so tired that my leg will fall asleep. Maybe I'll fall asleep and I'll fall over. Or I'll get so tired and I'll recognize this chair is holding me. Why don't I just trust it? This is trust. This is leaning on not our understanding, but this is leaning on God. When he says, trust me, I've got you.
The Lord was inviting me to trust, and my lack of trust in him was manifesting itself as uncertainty about my situation and my circumstances, and it left me feeling really stuck. So, in the weeks leading up to that message and in the few days that followed, I was convicted in a big way to take a step of faithfulness and trust the Lord with whatever would come from it. It wasn't easy, it wasn't comfortable, but it was right. And when I did, I felt a weight lift from my shoulders, and I began to gain a little bit of clarity as the fog I'd been living in slowly began to clear. I'm excited to share more of that journey with you, but that will have to wait for another video. Right now, I just want to ask you a question and offer a little bit of encouragement. The question is this: what step of faithfulness have you been hesitant to take? Maybe it's in the context of a relationship, your career, a volunteer opportunity, or even how you're spending your money. Where do you sense God inviting you to take a step that you have been hesitant to take? My encouragement then is this: take that step. The promise of this verse is that when we trust, leaning not on our own understanding and acknowledging the Lord in all our ways, He will make our paths straight. It's not a promise that the path will be easy and full of riches and comfort, but it is a promise that He will lead us where we need to go. In my next video, I'll share some things that I've learned about the practicality of this verse and the place where the promise meets the present. And then in the following video, I'll share some exciting news about the clarity I found in the midst of my uncertainty and give you an update on what I'm up to now. Hopefully this has been an encouragement to you, and I'll see you in the next one.